All right, folks, what's going on? Monday, November the 29th, 2021. Appreciate you all tuning in. I'm Chris Phillips, host of the Daily Crow, the Spurs Up Show, as always. Taking your questions, your comments, your calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Is again, of course, I don't need to say much. It is Therapy Monday, and maybe the most therapy Monday of all of this 2021 football season. As we recall what happened over the weekend, we can talk about that. We can talk basketball as well. Also, some really exciting business news here on Monday as well regarding Gamecocks basketball and what we're doing in regards to business and all that good stuff. So, again, I thought today would be the perfect day to announce that, to sort of inject some positivity into the day. But, yeah, man, there's no sugarcoating what we experienced over the weekend. And, again, I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you, 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Guys, before we get into your calls, before we get into everything, I do want to tell you about our friends over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm, because the Daily Crow, it is presented to you by our friends at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Guys, they're young but experienced and aggressive attorneys. They're both former prosecutors who used to represent insurance companies but switching sides. They both worked at larger law firms where they represented hundreds of clients at a time, and they both left to start their own law firm, guys, because they understand you're not just a line item, you're not just a number, you're a real human being, and you should be treated as such. They're a small boutique law firm that treats their clients like family. Guys, they're going to know who you are and treat you like a client and not a number. They handle injury cases that arise from car accidents and work accidents. Guys, do not try to take on the insurance company yourself. Been involved in any type of accident, no matter what it might be, the last thing that you should be dealing with and worrying about is dealing with the paperwork, the insurance company. Let the experts over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm handle it for you guys. They use the latest technology to make representation efficient yet effective. Again, let them take care of everything for you. You don't even pay them unless they recover money for you. Rami's in Columbia, Curtis in Charleston. They handle cases statewide. They also offer virtual or in-person consultations at no charge. Guys, give them a call today in Columbia, 803-973-0304, or in their Somerville location, 843-388-3368. Or, of course, guys, your one-stop shop, their website, dsinjurylaw.com. That is dsinjurylaw.com for more information. Again, guys, our friends over at Dason Shalabi Law Firm. Be sure to check them out and tell them that Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you. Again, I see Phil, Cody Gaskins, Travi, Wesley Newmar, Brennan M., Brian Dean, Dakota Lee Center Fight, Bill, Twan Love Kicks, Courtney Washington, Chase, Miller Time, John Kruger, Lance, Barry Edwards. The entire crew is here. What's going on, guys? Appreciate you all tuning in. Also, in the Big Cock Club Discord, head over to the TDC Questions channel, to be sure your questions are answered there. Hey, we're 6-6. We're bowl eligible. Good point, Brian Dean. You're right. We are 6-6. We are bowl eligible. That is a fact. And listen, I want to say this too, though. I am going to have a season reflection show, postseason awards show, 2021 year in review, grades, report card, all that good stuff later this week. Thursday and Friday, I think we'll knock it out on those 2 days. We're going to look back and shed a lot of perspective and light on what happened over the weekend, over the season, going 6-6, a successful first year under Shane Beamer, getting to a bowl game bottom line, which it's crazy, by the way. If you reflect on the preseason predictions that I gave and how accurate they were, and again, I'm not a big pat yourself on the back guy because I make a lot of predictions, guys, and a lot of them are wrong. But it is kind of crazy. It is kind of crazy looking back at those predictions from over the summer and looking how the season played out. I only missed one game. We only missed one game, and it was the Tennessee game. And instead of beating Tennessee, you beat Florida. But it had the win over Auburn, had a 25-point loss to Clemson in the preseason. You lose by 30. So this team, and I said then, and I'll say it now, even though it's much tougher to accept here on this Monday today after what happened on Saturday night, I said it over the summer. If this is how the season plays out, if you go 6-6 and you go 3-5 in the SEC, you've had a successful year. And so, again, we'll talk about that a lot more later in the week. I've been injecting perspective all season long, so I'm obviously not going to back off of that. But, as I said on the podcast this morning, which I want to read this comment because I know Clemson fans are probably going to be flooding the chat today, which is totally fine. Clemson fans, I tip my cap. Your team earned it. They kicked our ass. There's no way around it. Hey, I spent a lot of time. You'll notice, though, last week, the majority of trash talk, if not really all of it, that I spent last week wasn't on the field. I was picking at Clemson fans themselves. It wasn't on the field. Because I knew that, and we all knew, the Gamecocks were capable of losing this game. There's a reason you opened up as a 2-touchdown underdog. So most if not all of my trash talk last week was picking at Clemson fans, which rivalry week was a blast. Clemson fans gave me everything I hoped they would and more. The numbers were incredible. Gamecock fans, we were all excited, fired up. But, hey, with that being said, that's the beauty and the agony of a rivalry, right? That's the beauty and the agony. You talk your trash, you do whatever pregame, but if you lose, you got to live with it for 365 days. And Gamecock fans, I know you're probably, maybe you're at your place of work or you're with your buddies or your family or whatever, and they're jabbing at you, they're talking trash. All I can tell you to say is let them, because Clemson dominated you, and they own you. There's no other way to put it. Clemson owns you, and that's not a hot take. That's not a hot take. Let's jump to the phone lines here.
From Phil Harris.
Phil, what's going on, man? How are you?
Pretty good. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing well, man. Appreciate you asking. What's going on?
I left you a voicemail earlier when I was mid-workout that is just completely vulgar and just trashing everything left, right, and center. F this and F that. But I'm post-workout now, right? So I'm feeling a bit more clarity. So I just wanted to say that it's disappointing, right? Carolina fans have to have hope, otherwise we just go crazy. And I felt like there was a lot of hope in this game because we saw the team from the upstate underperforming at the beginning of the season, not playing their best. Obviously, they have a better roster. There's nobody that's going to doubt that. We just felt like we could make it a more competitive game based on how they were underperforming. So that gave us hope, right? All I wanted was a competitive game that was close, and we didn't get anything close to that. What I was hoping would not happen is exactly what happened, where they beat the fuck out of us. So it's frustrating as a Carolina fan. But hey, we're the most loyal fan base in the country. There's no doubt about it. If you're still rolling with the Gamecocks, if you're like my age and you're like 37 years old, like, hats off to you, man. Like, we've seen some bad football over the years. We've had some good years, few and far between though. But we've had a lot of bad years. And if you're still rolling with us, if you woke up on Sunday still a Gamecock fan, God bless you, man. I'm right there with you. We're going one day we're going to see the mountaintop, but we're just nowhere close right now.
Right.
So
yeah, I said that in the podcast too, man. I do feel for Gamecock fans, man. I do feel for Gamecock fans because, and I don't think it's I'm not going to put the fault on Shane Beamer that he should stop asking people to show up and create a great environment. And I don't think he should stop doing that at all, but it's becoming a very disturbing trend that, we're and maybe we should stop doing it. Maybe we should stop hyping up specific games because it just feels like every time we do that, we went into Florida and Auburn with nowhere near the hype that the Clemson game had, for example, or the Kentucky game had, to be totally honest with you. I mean, I'll tell you, man, and I do want to give a shout out to all the folks that came out to the TSUS tailgate. And I mean, dude, we got out there at 12:45. It was already slammed. I mean, slammed. The environment never even got close to that for the Florida and Auburn game.
Right.
So Gamecock fans showed up and showed out and did their part. And I do feel for fans because it's becoming a very disturbing trend that, not only are you not winning those big games, it's not like, it's like agony. We're so close, but we just can't get over the hump. I mean, you're not only not winning them, you're getting flat out.
You're getting your ass kicked.
You're getting your ass kicked. I mean, really, bottom line. And it's not fun to watch. So I feel for Gamecock fans in that regard. I mean, they did their part, created a fantastic atmosphere, and just more of the same. So more of the same. I mean, I don't know. I mean, outside of – because I know the question probably on a Monday is, well, what's the solution? What do you do? Because what's so maddening for me is just – it's not that Clemson won Saturday night. Again, I talked about this on the show today. It's not that Clemson won. it's just the manner in which they did so. And I'm just so tired of the games not even being competitive. They're not even competitive, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the last 5 matchups, I posted this on Twitter yesterday. The last 5 matchups have been decided by 31.8 points per game. And I think it's like the last 7, the 7-game winning streak they're on, have been decided by like 26 points per game. I mean, it's non-competitive football game. It's basically, South kind of Vandy. I mean, that's pretty much, it's Georgia Tech. That's really what this is at this point. So, I'm more of the Spurrier line of thinking where I don't go into seasons thinking to myself, just beat Clemson. The season's a success. I mean, we've beaten Clemson before in our history. We've never won the SEC. That's what I want to see happen. But It's even more so. It's more amplified now. Like, I'm not even looking forward to the Carolina-Clemson game anymore. Rivalry week's fun. Don't get me wrong. And selfishly, from my perspective, making content around it's great. But, God, I mean, it's just it's tough, dude. It's tough. 30-0. I mean, that's all you really got to say. 30-0. I understand Clemson's got talent. I get that totally 110%. But it's just a bit maddening, man, because there's plenty of teams out there that are talent deficient, or they play teams and have a talent gap, and they put up some semblance of a fight and create a competitive game. And you just haven't been able to do that in the last 7 years, really. Haven't really been able to do that. So that's the most disheartening part. And that's, again, I said it on the show again today, and I'll say it again today. I feel better today, but yesterday was probably the most dejected I've ever felt after a game in a long time. And I'll say that, in a very, very long time. Yeah. Normally it doesn't bother me, whatever. Texas A&M, hey, screw it. You got your ass kicked, whatever, move on. But I think just a combination of getting the hopes up, that being the final game of the season, the final game it will be in the 2021 season, and it's like it really is going to end like this. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Again, outside of coaching your butt off and going and recruiting some big-time players, I don't know what else you can do, because Clemson's in your head right now. They own you, and that's just a fact. I don't know how any Gamecock fan can say anything different. It's just a fact. Just the facts. So,
right. Absolutely. I mean, the game just means more. That's the bottom line, and all we want to see is a competitive football game. So until we get to that point, it's kind of we're in the wastelands right now, unfortunately. But I mean, there's a lot of positivity to the season. It just, the regular season ended on a horrible note. And Carolina fans, I want to drive this home. Carolina fans deserve better than that performance. The most loyal and best fan base in the entire country. We deserve to see a competitive rivalry game. And all we can do is hope that next year or the year after that or whenever the hell it is, we will get to see that on the field. And obviously it takes recruiting, it takes coaching. I'm glad Marcus Satterfield's on his way out. I told you, and I don't want to get too vulgar here, but I told you when we hired this guy, I was extremely skeptical. And when you hire nobodies, some of them turn out to be fucking nobodies. And that's what this guy is. And I'm glad he's getting out of town. We've heard rumors that he was, creating a toxic environment within that program anyway. So see you later. Go back, fuck off to the NFL. That's what I want to say to Marcus Satterfield. That's really all I got, man. And really, all I wanted to say is finally here before I say go Cox is we deserve better. Go Cox. Bye.
Appreciate it, Phil. Great stuff. 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Brendan Wagner says, is Satterfield officially on his way out? Yeah, so I tweeted something on Saturday night. A lot of rumors flying around. What I had heard going in the game on Saturday is Satterfield had basically already accepted another job, and he would be on his way out. There's been some conflicting reports on that since. Guys, it's a lot of he said, she said right now. If I had to guess, Marcus Satterfield will not be your offensive coordinator next year. If I had to guess, again, that's a pure guess. I don't know. Again, there's a lot of he said, she said. What's actually going to happen? Who knows? Let's jump to the phone lines real quick.
Call from
Colin Davis.
Scott, what's up, man? How are you?
What's up?
What's going on?
What do you think the percentage is that Satterfield's really gone?
I'm a bit of a gambling man. If I had to bet on it, I would say that there will be a new OC. If I had to bet on it, again,
If I had to bet on it, I would bet against you because what I'm hearing is he's not going anywhere.
Right. I mean, who knows, man?
But who knows?
Who knows?
I heard he was on his way out the door.
Yeah.
And this and that against Beamer to let him stay. And he feels like he can get one of them Oklahoma quarterbacks, and that might change the whole system.
Right.
But the scheme's bad.
I've been, I'm obviously I'm not sitting here on a Monday leading off the show, and I don't have it on the whiteboard. Fire Satterfield, and again, I talked about it on the show that I talked about it on the show that dropped today, though, that honestly, selfishly, one of the reasons, bro, I did the whole fire Muschamp thing, and that was great and all, whatever, cool. I'm just sort of I'm right smack dab down the middle in just regards to, I don't think he's the only problem. I think he's far from it. I posted this morning, you had 11 different starting quarterbacks since 2015. That's a problem, right? You haven't had a good quarterback.
Yeah.
You haven't had, let me put it this way, you haven't had the guy. You've had some decent guys. Hey, how much do we miss Jake Bentley right now? I never thought I would say that. You've had some dudes, I guess, but, that's a problem. Overall, just talent and personnel on the offensive line and skill players on the outside and playmakers on the outside, that's a problem. But, yeah, I did not like what I saw from the from the play calling at all and the scheme. And, again, it's just one of those things where, we can talk players and personnel and everything, but when you finish 13th out of 14th in the SEC, the only team worse than you in offense is Vandy. So you might as well just say you finished in last. That's Marcus Satterfield's offense. His name is on it. You know what I mean? So I know for sure one thing, you can't just go into next season with the exact same staff intact. And I don't think that'll happen no matter what. I'll just say this. I'm not going to jump ship if nothing happens. And I don't want something to happen if there's not a better option out there. You know what I mean? And which you'd say, well, how could there not be? I'm just saying, if you get rid of him, that's fine. But you can't take another flyer higher, man. You just can't do it. You can't promote. I'm sorry. You can't. Right. Yeah, it has to. You can't promote Justin Stepp to OC. And I love Stepp, but you got to bring in somebody who's proven that has a track record of offenses working. Again, Satterfield's track record was very blah, when he came in. You can't do that. You got lucky Clayton White worked. You did. You got lucky he worked because he was also an under-the-radar type of guy. You got to go get somebody. You got to get somebody proven and pay him. You have to.
Just remember this. If you keep Satterfield, Justin Stepp on the Clemson. But if you get rid of Satterfield, you keep Justin Stepp. If I'm Beamer, who you really keep?
Right, and there's a lot of dominoes that could fall, whatever. But yeah, I don't know, man. Again, you hired Shane Beamer to make these decisions. You know what I mean? We can talk about it. We can have our opinions on it. I trust in Beamer no matter what. I trust in Beamer either way. I think he will make the right decisions for sure. But yeah, this is a big decision for him early in his tenure. That's for damn sure.
Let's just pretend we're Shane Beamer. If I'm Shane Beamer, I fire Marcus Satterfield, and the first guy I go after is the OC at Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. Who do you go after if you're Shane Beamer? What do you do?
Hey, why not go for this Jeff Grimes dude at Baylor? They just literally, ironically enough, as you say this, 2021 Broyles Award finalists announced, and Jeff Grimes is the first name on the list, the Baylor offensive coordinator and tight ends coach. So, listen, I don't have a short list put together, man. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not going to pretend like I know more about offensive football than Shane Beamer would be in hiring an OC. I'm not going to pretend like I do. So, again, go get somebody with a track record. Go get somebody with a track record that can at least bring an exciting product and put it on the field. Because, again, that's the thing. It is about Shane Beamer as a head coach. He's a bit of a salesman. And, hey, you're trying to sell a product. And, hey, if you go 6-6, but you're scoring 40 a game, that's a lot easier to sell than the way you went 6-6 this year. And that's taking nothing away, obviously, because I'm thrilled with how the season played out. But, I'm thrilled with going to a bowl game in Shane Beamer's first year. But it's just the fact of the matter that you need something to sell, and, you need hope. And today's day and age of college football, you're not going to win games 10-7. You got to be able to score. So
I feel like this. You're not going to recruit young, talented, fast young men to come play for you. and your offense look like that. Nobody wants to come play for that.
Right. For sure.
That's my. And I want to give the O-line coach a pass. People don't understand. People understand the O-line was bad, and yes, it was terrible. But that still falls on Satterfield because he tells the O-line coach how he wants his guys to block, how it's all off the scheme.
Right.
The possession coaches work off of Satterfield.
Right.
So it just, to me, it had to be scheme.
Yeah.
It just had to be.
For sure.
I'm about to flip my page to baseball, buddy.
I hear you. Hey, we're going to jump into the call, Skyland, but now we'll see what happens, man. A lot of dominoes to fall. I appreciate you.
All right.
Later. All right, let's jump into the call here.
Call from
Will from Dirty Myrtle.
Will, what's going on, man? How are you?
What's up, buddy?
Just hanging out, man. Just having a Monday. What's going on?
Just calling to give my opinion on this whole thing. So personally, I think that we got to get a different OC, and we need to get one that runs a fast tempo offense because that hides a lot of inefficiencies as far as the player and personnel. When you look at Tennessee this year, they had like 1 million transfers. They had so little to work with as far as depth, and they scored the ball a lot. They were competitive. They were fun to watch. We got to get something like that.
Yeah, that's fair. No, that's fair, man. That's fair. I mean, it's again, I'm not going to necessarily lead the Fire Satterfield train, but his name's on it, man. 13th out of 14th in the SEC. I mean, that's it, man. That's it. It's all about the numbers. It's a results-oriented business, and they all know that when they take the big paychecks and what have you. So I just, there's a guy out there that, like you said, like you just mentioned, if there's a guy out there that can provide all those things you just mentioned, I think you go get him. Absolutely. And especially, the dynamic I'm not factoring in also. If there's even 1% of truth, which it sounds like there is because where there's that much smoke, there's fire. If there's even 1% of truth to the conversation that they don't get along behind closed doors because of Marcus Satterfield and his ego, well, then that completely changes things for me. I mean, you can't, if you're trying to build a culture, you can't have that behind closed doors. And you're not good, you can't be both, right?
Yep.
If you're going to be a douche, you better be good. So.
Absolutely. I mean, and also the offensive line, I'm not giving a pass because that same offensive line had the SEC's leading rusher last year.
Right.
And that same offensive line couldn't run the ball this year at all.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like, I think those are the two coaches. You got to put it on their heads, man. Those two guys got to go.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm still going to be a Gamecock fan tomorrow if they don't, but I want them gone.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what I'm saying too. That's what I'm saying too is, I trust in Beamer, bottom line, and he's going to have to make the decisions to better his program. And I don't think Shane's a guy that is going to die on the ledge that a guy like Muschamp did, where he's just going to be so blindly loyal to his people and let that kind of ruin his program. At least I don't think so, right? We don't know, but I don't think so. So I trust he'll make the decisions. But yeah, I mean, I'm at the point I'm not going to shed a tear if Marcus Satterfield's looking for a new job like this time tomorrow, or God, certainly Greg Atkins. I mean, so I'm not going to shed a tear. You know what I mean?
I don't like the way the guy looks. You know what I mean? Like when I look at the guy, he looks like he doesn't know what the fuck's going on. You know what I mean? Like he just has that like I'm dumb look on his face.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
But anyway, but it was a great atmosphere. I mean, the tailgate was amazing. Everything was turned. The energy was there. The beginning of the game was like, it's like we're there, man.
Yeah.
Like we just need something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, but we're all there. We're ready. Like, we just need something to cheer for, dude. Anyway, I'll get off of here, though, man. All right?
Nah, hey, I appreciate the call, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Great stuff. 843-790-3337. Some of my guys, that's 843-790-3377. As expected, phone lines ringing off the hook today here on a Therapy Monday. Taking your questions, your comments, your calls as well. Coach Ford coming in 12:30 in Satterfield, still employed. Where are you, Coach Beamer? We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. Peyton, I did just see your text, by the way. The Mets got Mad Max. Dude, the Mets are trying to make moves, man. The Mets are trying to make moves. Braves won a World Series, and the Mets are like, screw it, we got to be next. Sven Webster says, we also lost Dylan Wanham. Heard he was a bigger piece than what credit he was given. You say that, and sure, but I mean, this offensive line played really well without him, against Auburn and Florida. So how big of a piece could he have really been? How big of a piece could he have really been? By the way, guys, on a quick side note, there is some exciting news today. Number one, it's game day. South Carolina women's basketball taking on the North Carolina A&T Aggies. Yours truly will be in the building. My first ever women's basketball game. Very excited for that first one in person. So game day for women's. Also, Gamecocks men's, of course, getting the dub yesterday over Rider. In bigger news, we have officially partnered with our first ever TSUS athlete, Gamecocks guard Eric Stevenson, a.k.a. Mr. Shooters Shoot. So, Shooters Shoot merch on the store right now. All right, let's check out the phone line. Robbie, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing great on this god-awful Therapy Monday.
Yeah, I hear you.
So, I honestly, even if Satterfield gets canned after today or this week or whatever, I am extremely proud of the coaching staff for all the crap they had to put up with because, like I said before, technically the players that Beamer was using this year weren't even his players.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
He took Muschamp's players, and we won 6 games in Beamer's first year. That shows how god-awful Muschamp was.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, there's, we all have, I'd like to think we all have perspective. And again, I'm going to shed more light on it later in the week, again, when we look back on the season as a whole. But again, I will say that does not take away from the how miserable Saturday night was, to be totally honest with you. It doesn't.
It was miserable.
Yeah, 30-0. 30-0.
I was
man.
miserable.
30-0. So I mean, it's
And I didn't even hear from a Clemson fan the whole night, but I heard from a Tar Heel fan, and it was my cousin. And if I could have, I'd have reached for the phone and choked him to death.
Right. So, it's Carolina Clemson's a great rivalry in the sense of just a rivalry, all sports. It is not a good football rivalry right now. It's not. It's a very one-sided, dominant on one side rivalry. So, and that's what it is. That's what it is. So, it is what it is, and until the Gamecocks change that on the field, I mean, that's what it is. Clemson owns you. That's it. Bottom line. That's it. Nobody can deny that. 7 in a row. I talked about going in the game that this was your best chance to beat them in quite some time, and it's probably going to be your best chance. Again, I believe in Shane Beamer and believe that, we're going to continue to make progress and improve, but realistically, do you have a better shot going to their place next year? No. And in the next year, who knows? And, I think unfortunately, because of the way you played on Saturday night and how far you obviously are away, I think you're staring at realistically this streak could get to double digits. And that's just being honest. That's just being real. It could. It very well could. So it's gonna take some game-changing type of big-time recruits, big-time athletes, big-time players to come in and not only be good football players, but just change the attitude. Because I remember how I felt 09-13 when Carolina was dominating Clemson and beating up on Clemson. And you went into those games knowing good things were going to happen to us because we always beat Clemson. We own Clemson. And it's just going to take special individuals, special players to come in and reinstill that confidence, reinstill that culture. And again, the season's not all about just beating Clemson, but it's a very important game for a lot of people. So, again, like I said, outside of coaching your ass off and recruiting, I don't really know what the answer is outside of those two things I mentioned, but it's disheartening. I mean, I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it and say, well, you went 6-6. You did for sure. But hey, I have perspective on the season, and this will subside, and I will get over it. And again, it's not the fact you lost. It's not the fact you lost. I knew you could have lost. Hell, I picked Clemson to beat you. And I picked them to beat you by 25 points in the preseason. Like, it's not that you lost, but it's the fact that you looked so bad doing it against a Clemson team that was as down as they've been since 14, really? 13, whatever, maybe 14, and you still got blanked at home in primetime 30-0. That's what's hard to comprehend today.
And like I told you this earlier during the week. I told you this last week during the week. Okay. I thought we had a chance against Clemson because our defense has, over the last, not counting Saturday, but the 2 weeks prior to that, our defense was playing probably the best it's played all year. Okay. I think once we start getting the guys that, like I said, trust in the process and know that it's going to take some time to get us to where we want to be. Once we start getting like the Clownies and the DJ Swearingers, I know this is a stretch. Okay, obviously from 2009 to 2013 probably won't happen again. Okay, but it's got to start somewhere, and that's how you start it. That's how Spurrier did it, and I truly do think that Beamer can do it.
Yeah, I mean, I believe in Shane Beamer as well, as long as he doesn't go to Oklahoma. So I'm just reading. Apparently, Beamer has surfaced as a candidate for the Oklahoma job. I don't think he's going anywhere. But whatever, who knows?
If he wasn't going to leave for the Virginia Tech job, you really think he's going to leave for the Oklahoma job?
I mean, I don't think so, Robbie. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing on social media. Again, ignoring that. No, I believe in Shane Beamer, no question. I believe in Shane Beamer. Yeah, I believe in, obviously, man. I'll tell you this, just for people that don't maybe understand this and realize this, I wouldn't put the guy's name on merchandise if I didn't believe in the guy. So I promise you. I believe in Shane Beamer and all aboard the Shane train, Beamer Ball, everything he's building, the culture's changing. Again, like you said, perspective. We went 6-6. We're going to a bowl game. You know, if you can get those 15 practices in, if you can win a bowl game, it puts a positive spin on what you did this season. It gives you momentum going in the off season.
Right.
Again, your season's not defined by that game on Saturday. If you'd have been 5-6 going in that one, we'd feel even worse today. But the good news is, again, you did beat Auburn. You got to 6-5.
I look at it this way. To those fans that said going 6-6 is a failure, you're crazy. Okay? Those fans that listen to this show that said going 6-6 is a failure, you're insane. Okay? I'm just being completely honest here. Okay? I'm not trying to be a meanie, but I'm telling you the truth. All right? We're going to a bowl game whenever we honestly should have been we should be 3-9 right now. And Vegas had us going 3-9 and we won 6 games. Okay? I'll take it. 6-6 in a bowl game, I'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
After winning only 2 games last year, I'll take a 6-6 record. Very happily.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I'm the same way. But, yeah.
All right, man. You have a good one, okay?
Hey, I appreciate you, Robbie. Thank you so much. 843-790-3377, guys. That's 843-790-3377. Here's a great take right here. Just a fantastic take on a therapy Monday, overreaction Monday. Twan Love Kick says, Shane is not the guy, but what choice do we have? And Muschamp went bowling in his first year. I think to compare Muschamp and Beamer's first years is pretty aggressive. To compare Muschamp and Beamer is also pretty aggressive, but whatever. Hey, it's Monday after you lose 30-0 to Clemson. So, I mean, there's going to be takes like that all over. So, Beamer wasn't the guy when you lost to A&M, then he was the guy when you beat Florida, then he wasn't the guy when you lost to Mizzou, then he was the guy when you beat Auburn. Just stop. Hey, make one take and stick with it. That's all I ask. Be consistent in the energy. That's it. Because the flip-flopping energy gets really old.
Call from
J-Rock.
There we go. J-Rock, what's going on, man? How are you?
Well, what's going on, Chris, man? Done better.
Facts.
I know all the Gamecock Nation's hurting after that Palmetto Bowl. But yeah, I just want to give the fans some encouragement. Beamer is the right guy. He's got the right plan in mind. I think he's exactly who we need. He's who we should have gotten, instead of Muschamp. But yeah, I just encourage all Gamecock fans to just stay the course with Beamer. He's going to get us there, and whether it be players, coaches, if there's anybody that doesn't need to be here, he'll get rid of them. So, and I know right now it sucks because Clemson's doing what they're doing, and teams like Georgia and stuff, and it just hurts to see where we're at right now. But we'll get to where we want to be, and just don't buy in to the false narrative that like what happened under Spurrier. That was just a fluke, lightning in a bottle. That's not true. What Spurrier did was prove that it can be done. And it can happen again. We can get back to there, and we just got to believe it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I do believe it, man. Again, you when you look at the season in the grand scheme of things, you went 6-6 and you're going to a bowl game. Bottom line. So, again, if you'd have told, even if you would have mentioned the score, 30-0, even if you would have mentioned the score, if you told any Gamecock fan before the season you're going to go 6-6 and you're going to be Auburn and Florida, there's nobody that would have turned that down, man, or said anything other than that was a great year. So, nah, I mean, I believe in Beamer. Again, the takes of, well, Beamer's not the guy. How do you know in a year? How do you know? Somebody tell me, how do you know? You know what I mean? It's still last year's roster. You're still playing with an FCS quarterback. You're still throwing to an FCS wide receiver and a guy who was playing quarterback and transition receiver, and you're playing a gratis. I mean, bro, I can go on and on and on, and I love this group. And, hey, this group laid the foundation for hopefully what's to come 3, 4, 5 years down the road under Shane Beamer. But, again, like we said all season, and I'm certainly not going to back off this take now, what you saw this year, kudos to Shane Beamer for getting this team to 6 wins, because it was a ragtag bunch of Gamecocks with a bunch of first-year coaches. I mean, that's what it was. So, again, if we're going to have the energy of, well, Beamer's not the guy because we didn't win 8 or 9, maybe we should be saying Beamer's the guy because we didn't only win 3 when we very easily could have done so. I mean, very easily we could have been a 3-9 team this year. Very easily. So it wasn't a perfect season by any stretch, but you're just not going to hear me, even after losing 30-0 to Clemson, the take that, well, Beamer's not the guy. Dude, I think it's a bit silly, ridiculous, whatever. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But Clemson's just that far ahead of you, man. It is what it is. They've recruited at a top 5 clip for the past 7 years. Maybe we were all naive to think that this roster could go out there and realistically compete with them for 4 quarters. Maybe that was my mistake for thinking that.
Well, and and that also goes to just one other thing I want to talk about real quick, because I know it's the hot topic of today. Now, I will say this: that game could have definitely been a lot closer. A lot more competitive. As far as the scoreboard goes. And that's why I believe that Beamer, like I said, he'll make the changes he needs. And, I know there's rumors right now, Satterfield might be leaving, he might not. I feel that he will be. And I got to say, man, honestly, and I've actually been harping on this for several weeks. I mean, and, I know a lot of people, bring up and say, oh, well, look at what he's had to, the players that he's had, trying to make it work and stuff. But even if you go outside of that and you just look at him, and I'm not trying to bash the guy, but I mean, the play calling is just completely uninspired. There's, just severe lack of creativity. And I mean, and the guy has to run a play 15 times to realize that it doesn't work. And he doesn't adjust the defenses at all. I mean, like Clemson, Saturday night, and go back to the Missouri game. And it's like all teams have to do to stop us is just load the box. I mean, if every team, if defenses could do that, and that's all it took to stop offense, you'd see defenses doing that all the time.
Right.
But there's a reason why defenses don't do that, because there's ways to counter that. And it's like he doesn't know how to adjust, or maybe he does. And there's all these rumors about, behind the scenes he's toxic. There's an ego thing, and honestly, that could be true, because I think he can actually. I think he could have done better than what he's done, but I think he's just so stubborn and set on running the offense that he wants to run that it's like he's worrying more about doing what he wants rather than what's going to work best with what he has. I mean, and if you're more about yourself than you are the team, I mean, I'm sorry, we don't need you.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd agree. Yeah, we don't have we don't have any time for the ego, for sure. No, I'd agree with you 110%. I don't like the idea or thought that somebody's there behind closed doors with that type of ego. So if that's the case, yeah, I think you know what you got to do. I think if that's the case, you know what you got to do.
Well, we'll just have to see what happens. Like I said, he goes, confident. Hopefully, Beamer go out and get a good replacement. But it's tough. But I'm still Gamecocks, and so I'm 10-2 up.
That's it, man. Hey, I appreciate the call, my man. Thank you so much.
All right, man. Have a good day.
You too. 843-790-3377. I know my guy David Garrick was trying to get in here. Would love to take your call. By the way, I was asked a little bit earlier in the chat, was the cigar video worth it? Yes. Every piece of content I made last week was beyond worth it. Just to give you an idea, over 4 million impressions on Twitter alone in the last week. So, yeah, it was well worth it. Clemson fans gave me everything I could have asked for and more. You guys were awesome. Gamecock fans, of course, you know how you do your thing. But, no, yeah, I don't regret a single bit of it. It was awesome. It was incredible.
Dave Garrett.
All right, let's jump back to the phone line here.
Press 1 to send.
Dave, what's going on, man? How are you?
Nothing much, man. Doing pretty good. Other than Saturday night, I hope you had a good Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was great. Hope yours was well also.
Yeah, it was okay. I'm a little concerned that holding on to Satterfield with what we've seen may cost us some commitments. I'm wondering if letting Satterfield and or Atkins go would help us flip any commitments. I don't see too many commitments wanting to come to play an offense that has been displayed so far. I'm also concerned that I didn't really like the game plan. And I thought unless he was hurt, we could have used Trey Jones more. But the thing that concerned me a little bit was Beamer in his conference said he liked the game plan. I support Beamer, and as always, I support you. I appreciate what you do, man. Hope you have a good one.
David, appreciate you, my man. I will say this. I don't think Beamer, or any coach really for that matter, is going to come out in their post-game presser and just throw somebody under the bus. Because, again, you have to remember, guys, these are human beings who are in professional relationships. And so, again, we can say things on Twitter or voice our opinions or voice our feelings in a much different way than Shane Beamer or someone actually on staff can do, right? I mean, Eric Kimry, for example, not that he would ever do this. I'm just giving you guys an example. But Eric Kimry or Justin Stepp or Montario Hardesty, they can't go on Twitter and say, man, our OC sucks. They just can't do that. I wonder what's being said behind closed doors. I really do. I'm not going to try to guess what is. But when you talk about recruiting, and if you keep Satterfield around, what's being said? You know what I mean? What's being said? What are you telling these recruits? Hey, we're on the up and up, and you're the missing piece. How? You got to get kids excited to come play for you, especially on the offensive side. Is Satterfield the guy to do that? At this point, guys, I don't know. I don't know. Again, 843-790-3377. Tell me, guys, that's 843-790-3377. So we're going to jump into our first break. I want to continue to hear from you, your thoughts, your questions, your comments, your calls, and more here on this Therapy Monday. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, your comments, your calls, 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377 here on this Monday, November the 29th, 2021. Bit of a therapy Monday, if you will. I see some people commenting about Shane Beamer, his status as a candidate at Oklahoma. I don't think that Shane Beamer is going anywhere, personally. I wonder what South Carolina's response is to this, though. We'll see. Let's jump back to the phone lines here. Justin, what's going on, man? How are you?
Not much. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing well, man. I want to say it was great to see you on Saturday. We had an absolute blast at the tailgate. Was really happy you got the chance to stop by.
Oh yeah, me too, Chris. I had a good time, man.
Yeah.
And Chris, I was disappointed with the outcome last night, man. It was not good.
It was not good. It was not good. That is a great way to put it, my friend. Just a really, really rough night. And, the 2021 season, I don't want that one game to spoil what the 2021 season was. And you got to a bowl game, and there were a lot of positives, and you accomplished a lot of things in Shane Beamer's first year. But just about as ugly a finish as you could have asked for. About as ugly a finish as you could have asked for. And, just hate it for all the Gamecock fans that showed up and showed out at Williams-Brice Stadium. But, is what it is. And, yeah, just a tough night, man. Tough night.
Oh yeah, and Chris, the thing about this was the offense, they just could not move the football. It was just pitiful.
Yeah, it was bad all the way around, man. It was bad all the way around. I didn't love the game plan. Your offensive line, we knew it was going to be a line of scrimmage football game. We knew you had to win at the point of attack, and not only did you not win at the point of attack, but you couldn't even hold your own. So we knew you'd have to do that, and simply put, you couldn't. And then Jason Brown at quarterback, liked Jason a lot, but, he needed to play nearly a perfect game, and it was far from that, obviously. So, I'll just leave it at this, and I hate to put it this way, but stars shine in a game like that, and Clemson's just got more of them right now than you do. They just do. They just do. So.
Yeah, and Chris, and like you said, man, Georgia has a better defense than Clemson.
Yeah, I mean, I think Georgia's got a better defense than Clemson. I think Georgia's got the best defense in all of college football, but you wouldn't have known that by the way we played on Saturday night. But, I mean, either way, man, it's you played Georgia in week 2, you play Clemson in week 12 or 13 or whatever. I mean, whatever, man, it is what it is. So, yeah, Clemson's got a great defense too, though. I mean, whatever. You want to split hairs on who's better. Clemson's got a great defense, and, I mean, they just smothered us. No other way to put it.
Oh, yeah. That's true, Chris. And Chris, at least you can look back at that. And Chris, I mean, I put this so I can finish 6-6.
Yeah, I mean, I picked 6-6 in the preseason. I picked it over the summer, and I said it then, and I'll just say it again now. Again, like I said, man, we're gonna later this week have our postseason awards show and recap on the season and do all that fun stuff we do after the season's over. But yeah, I mean, listen, I said it during the summer. I'll say it again, 6-6, a successful year one, and I still say it is. Even with that final game result, I think it's a successful first year as a whole. As a whole, it is. So.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Hey, Chris, fine guy here, man. Hey, Chris, I can't believe being nephew he got hired by Florida yesterday. Lichter White got hired by USC. What do you thought about those two pick hiring?
Yeah, that Riley to Southern Cal one is huge. I mean, that's huge. That's huge. So, yeah, game changer for college football, and all of a sudden the Pac-12, maybe they're relevant again. So maybe they're relevant again.
Oh yeah, and Chris, it's gonna take time at Florida, because being that field, he got a mess going down there,
Yeah, no, yeah, I think that's a good hire for them. We'll see how good a hire it was, but I do think that's a good hire for them. I do think that's a pretty good hire for them. So I don't know. Will he really fare better than Dan Mullen? I don't know that he will. I don't know that he will.
Yeah, Chris, ain't no telling because this guy might need about 5 years to tow this around,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. And I they've got talent, so I think the expectations are going to be extremely high. Out the jump for him, they're going to be extremely high. So
Oh, yeah. Well, Chris, that's all I said, man.
Justin, I appreciate you, man. Again, thank you so much for stopping by the tailgate, and hope to run into you again soon, my friend.
Yeah, you too, Chris. We talked here before SC basketball hits, you know.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, hey, we're into basketball now, my man. We're into basketball, so and then waiting on the bowl game. So
yeah, we are too, Chris. Hey, Chris, before I hang up, hey, Chris, so I got the other T this year, you know, other T.
you said they underachieved?
Yeah.
In what, basketball or the game Saturday, you mean?
Football. Football.
I mean, I think as a whole, I don't think we underachieved. I think maybe we overachieved a little bit. I mean, the game on Saturday, yeah, I mean, compared to what we were hoping for and expecting, yeah, I mean, I think that's not what we expected. We'll leave it at that. That's not what we expected. So not a fun night. Not a fun night.
Yeah, that's true, Chris. Hey, Chris, that's all I say, man. Have a good one, my brother.
Yeah, man. You too, man. I appreciate you, Justin. Take care. 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Taking your questions, your comments, your calls as well. Let's see. Oh, you on Juice says pain, misery, rage. I hear you, my man. I hear you. We've had more fun Mondays, and I mean, again, we'll have more fun Mondays, no doubt. No doubt. Let's jump back to the phone lines here.
Call from
Zachary.
Zachary, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm good, Chris. How about you?
I'm doing well.
You know, Chris, Saturday didn't go the way we expected, but at least we get the smell of tractor fuel and self-righteousness out of here.
Yeah, fair enough. Very, very true. No, Saturday was abysmal. No other way to put it. It's, yeah. I mean, it's funny, man. You lose like that. You don't even. I mean, those who listen to the podcast already know this, but I mean, there's no breaking down the game. There's no dissecting. Oh, well, what happened? What went wrong? I mean, we got our ass kicked. You know what I mean? There's just no other. There's no other explanation. There's no other way to put it. You got beat in every single facet. So that's it. Tip your cap and keep it moving.
Yeah. It really is just. It felt like the antithesis of the season on steroids. It's like you knew you didn't have an offense, but you knew you had to get you had to do like the little things right. But you knew you didn't have an offense, and you knew that because you don't have an offense, you leave your defense out there too much. They're going to give up points. It was just a season on steroids, basically.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, all the problems you had all year were just amplified in that game. And that's normally what happens. They normally do get amplified when you play a good team that has good players and can expose your deficiencies. And that's just exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. And I don't know, man. I guess what's also frustrating too is, and I know we've got to make this happen on our own end. We've got to get big time ball players and make plays. But man, it's just getting really old. Watching Carolina play Clemson, and Clemson plays basically their best game against South Carolina. I mean, when's the last time we went to a game and said, man, Clemson just had an off night? You know what I mean? Like, it's wild. It's wild. It's wild. So
I cannot remember that for years. It's been a while since.
And I guess 2013. I guess 2013.
What was the Elliott year that he came in and replaced Spurrier? Wasn't that
2015?
2015.
2015.
They gave up a lot of points, and if the ball bounces different ways, we probably, if we gotten that ball back at the end, I think and everything went right, we probably could have won that.
Yeah, I mean
that was probably the
yeah.
last
I mean it was 37-32 the final, but I mean you scored with 10 seconds left to make it that whatever. I mean But yeah, that's been the most competitive game. That's been the most competitive game.
Oh, I was about to point to that one where we just ran all those crazy formations at them. That wasn't close because Muschamp should have went for some field goals, and that wasn't it close. I actually did the math on that one. And that game is way closer if Muschamp kicks those field goals instead of going for it on fourth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
But it that was the problem we had all season. I already said that we should. I said before the Clemson game. I said maybe after the Texas A&M game, you have to go into the transfer. You might you don't wait for some guys to get ready to get developed. You just go into the transfer portal, and it's looking like that already. But you already knew you probably had to do that.
Mm. Yeah, no, I mean you got to go find some big time players that can help you and help you immediately. That's it. So, whether that's in the portal, I'd be open to the portal. To be totally honest with you, I'd be very open to the portal. Obviously recruiting, but you got to go find some big time ball players. That's it.
I say the portal so much because look at what Mel Tucker did. Mel Tucker was struggling at Michigan State, and look what he did. All he did was hit the transfer portal really hard, and he figured everything pretty much got figured out. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to exactly happen like that, but if we can do something sort of like that, because Michigan State was nothing to write home about, and then next thing you know, they're beating Michigan, and they have they were ranked in the college football playoffs, and I think they're like 6 now, and it's like I'm not trying to say that that's going to happen with us. I'm just saying maybe they can get us over that hump. Maybe we go to the transfer portal, get the right guys, it can get us over that hump.
Right. Yeah, I mean, listen, you can lose football games with great players, but you can't win football games without them. So you got to go get them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Billy Napier to Florida was quite shocking. I mean, I didn't think that Billy Napier was going to take the job. I heard rumors that he wanted a bigger job, and well, look at him. He got Florida. So.
I mean, I would argue, man, Florida is one of the best jobs in college football. So, I mean, maybe that's just me. That's an elite job. That's an elite job. History of winning, national titles. I mean, that's a damn good. So, I mean, maybe he got the big job he wanted. I don't know. So,
yeah, but he's got, because Florida's one of the better programs in the country. He's got to show him. I feel bad because he has to show immediate results. He can't do what Beamer did. He can't win 6 games and everyone's everyone's okay with it and everyone's happy and be like, oh, this is a positive time for the future. He's got to win 7, 8 games now and lose close to Georgia next year. So yeah, heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Right, for sure. Yeah, the expectations are going to be sky high for him. That's for sure. So.
Oh, Lincoln Riley to USC.
Yeah, that's a huge move. I'm shocked. Yeah, that's a huge move.
Yeah, OU. I feel bad for OU because they're gonna have to find a coach that will compete in the Big 12 for the next 2-3 years, and then get their guys ready to go compete in the SEC, and also. There's a lot of guys who are committed to Lincoln Riley's offense, not to the university. Let's just be honest about that. And those guys are going to either decommit or leave the program. And some people said that some of them are going to follow him to USC. I don't think that's true. I think that he kind of burnt that bridge because I don't think he told anybody, minus his family in the faculty over at USC, that he's leaving. And he just informed the university and everybody else after it was already after the ball got rolling, it was too late to stop.
Yeah. No, I think it's a game-changing move for the Pac-12. I think it's a game-changing move, and we'll see who he might take with him. Yep. Again, it's like deja vu, though. I feel like we're having this exact same conversation. I was having this exact same conversation last year about coaching searches and all that. It's just kind of funny how life comes full circle, but. No, I mean, it's going to happen. It's going to happen when there's a coaching change anywhere. Players leave, whatever. So you just kind of have to deal with it and rip the Band-Aid off and, like I said, keep it moving. So.
Yeah. some people are saying Beamer to Oklahoma. I'm like, I also say no. He started something good here, and I think Beamer's a man of his word. Now, I don't think he'll leave. I think he wants to be here, and I think he's a man of his word. Unlike Riley.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's who knows, man? who really knows? Who really knows? So,
if he does leave, we'll wish him well. We will wish him well.
No, I think Shane's here for the long haul, man. I don't think he's going anywhere.
Yeah, it's mostly just a joke. It was just a joke.
Right. No, I got you. I think he's here for the long haul for sure.
Yeah. All right, Chris.
All right, man.
I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving and all that. Hope you have a good holiday season, man.
Yeah, man. You as well. Hey, I appreciate it sincerely. Thank you for the call.
All right. Thanks,
Good stuff.
Chris.
843-790-3337. Some guys at 843-790-3337. Some guys on a different note, by the way, switching gears. In case you missed it, also want to promote this. Today is Cyber Monday. TSUS.store. 25% off until midnight. Yet again, running a huge sale. You don't even need a promo code. Cyber Monday is the discount. 25% off every order. Also, very proud and excited to announce our first ever TSUS athlete, Mr. Eric Stevenson. Shooter Shoot, a.k.a. Shooter Shoot. Eric Stevenson, our first ever TSUS athlete. Really, really good stuff. We've got the merch up right now, the Shooter Shoot Eric Stevenson specific merch. You go to TSUS.store. You can get that for a discount today. You can get that discount of really, really cool stuff. The Shooter Shoot merch turned out awesome. I'm going to be rocking that to the games. We've got T-shirts, long sleeves. I'm also going to add hoodies and pullovers. So we're going to have a full selection of Shooters Shoot merch for you guys. So again, appreciate Eric. Really, really excited. Again, you guys know, huge Eric Stevenson guy. I talked about him at the beginning of the season and how big of a fan of his I was. And yeah, so yeah, really, really excited for it. Really excited for it. Really, really big move of the business. And yeah, so, all right, guys, let's jump into the phone lines here.
Call from
Nick Renfro.
Nick, what's up, man? How are you?
Doing good, buddy. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, man. Just hanging out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just wanted to – there's a few things that I wanted to talk about. Marcus Satterfield, I think, has to go. And I think our offensive line coach, because last year we had pretty much the same offensive line other than Nillawanam, and they knew we were going to run the ball, and we run the ball every weekend. And I think the only thing that's changed is scheme. I don't think the players have taken that big of a step back with an even healthier Marshawn Lloyd behind Harris, Zaquandre White stepping up. I just don't see how we could not run the ball every week, minus a couple weeks, I think he's got to get rid of Satterfield. I think even though Garrett Riley just went to TCU, I think you got to go get him. You got to go get him, and you got to go get a new offensive line coach. I don't think you can go sign another offensive coordinator like Marcus Satterfield, who wasn't even an offensive coordinator when you hired him in the first place. He was the offensive line coach for the Panthers. So I think you've got to make that step and go get somebody proven. If you're going to get some of these big names, because I think Spencer Rattler's gone from Oklahoma. Stetson Bennett goes back. If he's got any more eligibility, JT Daniels ain't sticking around. So I think you've got to go get somebody proven to come in with these guys. And I seen a while ago where there was a 4-star linebacker transfer from Tennessee that was there at South Carolina this week and said that he's pretty high. Carolina's pretty high on his list. So I think you've got to start putting the right people around these players to let them succeed, to get these people in to compete with Clemson and Georgia.
Yeah, for sure. No, you hit the nail on the head, man. I mean, again, I'm just pulling up the statistics here, and the fact of the matter is you ranked 13th out of 14 SEC teams in offense, and you ran for 122.67 yards per game. So you scored 21 points per game. So I mean that's are what you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not going to cut it. I mean, I think Clayton White needs a raise to keep this offense in as many ball games as our defense did. I think you've got to give him a raise. You've got to keep him. But if you can have a pretty mid-level defense, as long as you got a top offense, you can compete. If you don't put 30, 35 up there a game, you're not going to compete in the SEC.
Yeah. I mean, it's 2021, man. You got to score points to win. Bottom line. I mean, I'm not saying you got to score 40 a game or be like Ole Miss, but you got to score to win. Bottom line.
Right. And I'm okay with Beamer calling offensive plays for the bowl game if that means Marcus Satterfield's not there.
Right. I hear you.
So,
I hear you.
But other than that, man, 6-6 with one more games this year than we won 2 previous years. So I mean, you got to tip your cap to Beamer. I don't think Beamer will leave for Oklahoma if he's not going for Virginia Tech, where he was raised, where he went to college.
Right.
If he's not going for Virginia Tech, he's not leaving you for Oklahoma. But I think you can use those ties to Oklahoma to get some of those players that are leaving Oklahoma to come play for him, because they already know what he's about, what he preaches, and how he coaches and stuff like that. I mean, and our locker room's bought in. I mean, even when we were getting beat, other than the Clemson game, I looked like they give up a little bit. But for the most part, when we got blown out by Tennessee in the first half, they battled their tails off second half.
Right.
You know, so I think the locker room's buying in, but you've got to go get a quarterback, and you've got to go get a new offensive line coach to help these running backs and quarterbacks and stuff like that out. Because as good as Dottie is, I think you ain't got offensive line, he ain't gonna be nothing.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I don't care who's behind center. If you don't have an O-line worth a damn, then you just forget it. So.
Yep. But if that's all I want to call and talk to. Enjoyed your show. I'm gonna keep watching you, man. Keep doing your thing, and best of luck on basketball and baseball, man.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for the call.
Thank you, buddy.
Great stuff. 843-790-3377, guys. We're continuing to take your calls. Again, I'm not leading the fire Marcus Satterfield train. I trust what Shane Beamer is doing, and he's getting paid millions of dollars to make those decisions. With that being said, I would not shed a tear if he is no longer employed by the University of South Carolina at this time tomorrow or anytime. Again, that's not me calling for his head, but this is a results-oriented business. And the fact of the matter is this: you were the orchestrator of the 13th best offense, or the second worst best offense in the SEC. Bottom line. You took an offense that had the SEC's leading rusher a season ago, and you ran for 122.67 yards per game. You only scored 21 points per game. Again, was play calling the only issue? Absolutely not in my mind. But those are just the statistics. Those are the numbers. Those are what you have to live with. And I'm sure Shane Beamer is going to sit down with each and every single coach and have his end-of-season evaluations and, evaluate what each guy did during the season. When you look at Marcus Satterfield, it's going to be up to Shane Beamer to decide. Was it all on you? Was it scheme? Was it more personnel? I guess that's a decision he's going to have to make. None of us are going to make it. He's going to have to make it. So we'll see what happens. All we all know and can agree on is the product has to improve. But it has to improve. It has to. I'll call it for what it is. I mean, listen, I'm not taking anything away, and I have perspective. And the fact you got to 6-6 this year, incredible. Tip the cap to Beamer. Great stuff. But in some instances, you sort of smoke and mirrored your way to 6-6. A miracle 1-point win over Vandy. A last-second field goal against ECU. Leading the SEC in turnovers. Guys, we saw this under Muschamp as well. And again, I'm not comparing those two gentlemen, but you're not going to score 21 points per game next year and go 6-6 more than likely. You're probably going to go 5-7 or 4-8. You got to score points. You have to score points. And again, you can't sell your product. People want to be entertained in 2021. Attention spans are shorter, right? Nobody wants to watch a team struggle to a 21-20 victory or a 20-17 victory. Fans would rather see 45-42, 42-38. I mean, look at the Lane Kiffin blueprint at Ole Miss and what he's done. So, whether that means firing Atkins, Satterfield, the entire offensive staff, I really don't care. It's got to get better offensively. You got to score more points. Bottom line. Got to score more points. Got to find some answers on that side of the ball. Again, 843-790-3377. Tell me, guys, that's 843-790-3377. So we're going to jump into a break. More of your questions, your comments, your calls, and more on the other side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Want to continue to hear from you, taking your questions, your comments, your calls as well here on this Therapy Monday. I think we have a couple texts here. Let me see. We got a text that says Saturday night sucked. No other way to put it. Still looking forward to the bowl game and hoping similar to after the bye week, we can get it together and be ready to play. We won't know until Sunday, but latest projections looking like we'll be playing in the Liberty Bowl against Kansas State. This would be a fairly good matchup. What are you thinking with respect to what bowl we're going to land in? Yeah, it sounds like Liberty's a pretty popular choice, or that's a pretty popular projection for us, which I'd be down with that. I mean, ideally, I'd love to see us go down to Tampa. I'd love to see us go down to Florida in a warm weather bowl game. But I think the plan will be to go to it either way. I'd like to go to it. I have one bowl game experience in my entire life, and it was the game against Virginia in Charlotte. So to say that I need another bowl game experience, to say that I need another bowl game experience is putting it lightly, to absolutely say the least. So, yeah, putting it lightly, to say the least. Again, guys, I want to continue to hear from you. Questions, comments, calls. 1 second. Let's see. Michael Sawyer, what's going on? Appreciate you tuning in, Michael Sawyer. Got another text here. Again, guys, it's a Therapy Monday. It is what it is. Nick Renfro says, if Satterfield's fired and there's no good options out there, do you finally give Justin Stepp a chance? Maybe it's one of those situations where you make sure the better option's out there first, and then you make the change. I don't know. Peyton Ledwell says, Beamer has friendships with Marcus, but it's a results-oriented business like Chris says. Beamer's got to do what's best for his program and express his concerns to Tanner. Again, guys, I don't know what Shane Beamer will do. I don't. I cannot sit here and tell you for certain 100% this is what Beamer will do or what's going to happen behind closed doors. Because on one hand, can I see a change being made? Absolutely. When you have the type of season that we had, average 21 points per game, yeah, I could see that happening for sure. For sure. But on the flip side, Beamer and they were very open and honest this year about the talent and lack thereof, and that they need to go get some big time ball players. So let me ask you this question. I wonder, do Shane Beamer, does he believe the scheme is there to be successful and you just simply do not have playmakers to make it happen? I don't know. Again, I understand it's within the culture of football and it is what it is, but it is kind of wild that, am I supposed to pretend that I know more about offensive football and offensive strategy and offensive play calling and what's going on behind closed doors than Shane Beamer himself does? I don't know. I'm not a coach. I don't coach offense. Spam calls here on a Monday. Love that. But anyways, I'm not a coach. And as I told you guys before, I'm going to kind of stick with what I said during the season. Again, I will not shed a tear if Marcus Satterfield's not here tomorrow. I won't. It won't bother me. It won't bother me. So, but with that being said, if there's nobody better, and Shane Beamer obviously believes in what he's doing, and I think there's just got to be a better option out there. If you're gonna fire Satterfield, cool, but you better have somebody lined up who's better, much better, much better. I don't think you can take some flyer on some guy. I don't think you can do that. You can't. You can't take a flyer on a guy. Go get somebody proven, track record of a potent offense. So, anyways, again, I know it's Therapy Monday. We are just going through it, man. Going through it here on a Monday. Going through it. So, it's is what it is. I don't know. I don't know. As I told you guys before, if you listen to the show already today, just tough pill to swallow into your season. Again, we're gonna give it some time and look at later in the week, the 2021 season and year in review. And I'm gonna go ahead and do that before the bowl game. I'm gonna go ahead and do it before the bowl game and just grade the regular season, if you will, and all that. But this was a good season. It was a good season. And I guess that's kind of, too, where I'm also sad is it's like it sucks. Football season is over practically. Again, I know there's a bowl game, but football season's practically over, and that's the way it closes. That's the way it ends. It's just tough. Just really tough. Really, really tough. Philip Harris says, I want a Mike Leach or Lane Kiffin protege. Put some damn points on the board, throw the ball over the field, hurry up. Confuse and tire out defenses. Yeah, I just want to score points, Phil. I don't care how it's done, who does it. In case you missed it, by the way, Spencer Rattler has officially entered the transfer portal. I see a couple of you commenting, asking if I would take him. Yeah, I would take Spencer Rattler in a freaking heartbeat, bro. He would automatically upgrade your quarterback room. No question. No question. No question. Automatically upgrade the quarterback room. So you could talk about his attitude and all, and I totally get that. I understand it, whatever. I totally get that. But, that's why Beamer's your head coach, right? To fix that and to get him to buy into the culture and buy into the system, buy into the football team and what he's building. And, again, big-time players make big-time plays, big-time games. I think Spencer Rattler is a big-time player. So, and can be at least. Can be. And let's jump back to the phone lines here.
Call from
Justin.
Justin, what's up, man? How are you?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well. Appreciate you asking. What's going on?
Not much, man. So, since we're on the Satterfield train, I guess I'll, put my input in. I guess for me, the season started out, EIU just wasn't a match. You're just kind of like, okay, you just can't really base it off that game. And then we go into ECU, and we just can't even run the ball. I mean, we can't even convert 3rd and 1s with Kevin Harris in the backfield. It's just, and you're like, okay, well, maybe it's just, new scheme, new coaching staff. Let's give them a few weeks. But it never got better. It never, ever. It's kind of crazy. There's plays in those games, like the Auburn game, the 4th and 3 touchdowns. That's an incredible play call. Mm-hmm. But, it's just, there's so many games. Like, if his offense would have been more than average, we'd have beat Kentucky because our defense did everything they could in that game to win that game.
Yeah.
The problem for me is we're a team that could have won 2 more games and been 8-4, or we could easily be 3-9 or 4-8 with his offense. So it's just. I get it. There's going to be games. Like Alabama. Who would have thought Alabama and Auburn would go in overtime? Nobody thought that. You're going to have those games where you don't play your best. You just have to find a way to scratch it out. But for it to be a constant week of just like, well, we know if we give up more than 14, 17 points, well, this game is over.
Right.
Like that's just you can't live like that, man. You just can't do it.
Yeah. So
when Clemson went up 10-0, I'm like, this game's basically over. Mm-hmm. We don't score that many points. And when they went up 20-0, I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad to believe that, but just his offense is dismal.
Let me ask you this too. I'm gonna go back to what I said kind of mid-season when the fire Satterfield stuff started to come up. Okay, you fire Satterfield, you hire another guy. What if you can't run it again next year? Do you fire him then? And you just keep going? You just keep going year after year after year, just change OCs until one finally sticks or has a good year? I mean, that's my question. Okay, so I think one of two things. You either go get this to me is what should happen. One of two things should happen. You fire Satterfield, but you have to go get a no-brainer. Like, he's the dude. And you're going to be in it for the long haul because he's proven. He's got a track record, right? No matter what the results are next year, you have to. Or if that guy's not available, you got to bring Sat back. I'm not on the Satterfield train. The numbers are the numbers. It's a results-oriented business. The fact of the matter is you have the 13th best or the second worst offense in the SEC. Bottom line, right? You're the second worst offense in the SEC. So that's Marcus Satterfield's product. Should he be fired for that? I don't know. That's a decision Beamer's going to make. But if you get rid of him, you better have – because I'm telling you one thing. If you fire Satterfield and you promote Stepp to OC, I'm going to be pissed off. You promote Kimry to OC, and I love Kimry. I'm going to be pissed off, though. That's not good enough. You can't afford to take another flyer on this. Like, you better get this one right. If you're going to make that move, you better get this one right. That's all I'm saying.
Well, and that's kind of the sad thing. I mean, I hate, don't get me wrong. I despise Muschamp. But Muschamp did the same thing with us as he did with Florida. I mean, I think Muschamp could have been better. He just didn't. He played the buddy system, man. He's like, well, this is my guy.
Mm.
It just didn't get the job done. I mean, he never. And that's the other thing is when we hired Beamer, I think we all said this, is we were under the assumption they would hire Beamer, which is unproven outside of it, the assistant rank, to have a huge support staff with him. Proven OC, a proven DC, a proven support staff, and then the university's like, well, we're going to hire these guys that never really done that. You're like, what the fuck? I mean, pardon me, because, but
no, you're fine.
We're supposed to. I mean, I think we're all under the assumption he would just have like these two great coordinators. But don't get me wrong, I hate Dabo, but Dabo's Dabo because of the coordinators he's had behind him the entire time at Clemson.
Right.
Period. Without Venables, that defense is trash.
Right. And Spurrier had great coordinators too. Yeah, I mean, you got to have great people around you. That's for sure.
So I mean, it's just. I mean, I get what you're saying, though. I think your point of, if we can't run the ball next year, do we fire the next guy? I guess for me, I mean, like you said, if you fire Satterfield, like you said, you got to have somebody that's just like, it's going to blow everybody's mind, like, oh my God, this is the guy. This is what we've needed for a decade. But at the same time, if you don't fire Satterfield at some point, you've got those line coaches got to. It's got to be an either or. Either you fire Satterfield and get a proven OC, or you fire an O-line coach and start over from scratch. Because either one of them is got to go. Like you can't keep both. I don't think. Yeah.
No, for sure. I mean, listen, there's going to be staff changes. I don't doubt that at all. I don't doubt that at all. There are going to be staff changes. Again, is it going to be the one that many fans are hoping it is? I don't know. I can't predict that, but there are going to be staff changes. There's just no question in my mind. But yeah, again, I'm just kind of just entertaining myself looking at these statistics for college football and total offense. You ranked 116th in all of college football. There's only 130 teams. There's only 130 teams, so 320 yards per game. 320 yards per game. So.
I mean, and that was the frustrating thing is games where we should have been able to run the ball based on, like ECU. There's no reason why they should have dominated the line of scrimmage. No reason whatsoever.
I mean, Vanderbilt dominated the line of scrimmage, man. I mean,
exactly.
outside of really the Florida game. I mean, again, you ran for like 157 on Tennessee, and I think 1 maybe 180 or something like that against Auburn. Those were solid games. But outside of Florida, I mean, it was a very pedestrian, if not below average, rushing attack. Yeah. So
now, the problem is for us to get the 157 in some of these games was 35 to 40 carries for 2.5 yards a carry. I mean, you can't win games running the ball 3 yards a carry. I mean, you can. But the problem is, I heard the offense this year. I mean, even any offense, in my opinion, you can't live in 3rd and 9, 3rd and 8 all game. You can do it, man. It's just. I mean,
yeah.
You might get 2 or 3 conversions on 3rd long. You might. But dude, to live in that scenario every down, dude,
yeah.
it's just
it's
damn impossible.
South Carolina, by the way, ranked 102nd in the country in rushing offense this year, 122.6 points per game. I mean, this is probably the most damning part of that stat too. South Carolina ran for 7 touchdowns as a team this season, 3.5 yards per carry. So 7 rushing touchdowns as a team. As a team. I mean, if I would have told you that in the preseason, you'd have said, no, man, Kevin Harris is going to have 7 by himself. 7 as a team. 7 as a team.
So I guess my question would be is, I mean, I know, we don't know what the staff changes will be. I mean, do you think this is maybe the players step in and say, hey, like Kevin Harris or Marshawn Lloyd or, any of those guys step in and say, hey, like, if something doesn't change, I'm transferring. I mean, I know we've talked about, we think the transfer portal is like this inevitable thing that happens. But, at some point, I mean, you have to keep the players that are already there that, I think could change our program, if we get the right scheme in there. But I don't know, man. I mean, to me, I think that leans more to we lose players just based on the fact that they're like, dude, I can't. They're never gonna look at me as a true pro player if I'm getting 3 touchdowns a season and 400 yards on 150 carries.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, man. The question I got more often than not in the preseason was people asking me, oh, man, do you think we could have 2 1,000-yard rushers and Kevin Harris and Marshawn Lloyd? It's like, I don't even think we rushed for 1,000 as a team. If we did, we barely got there. Actually, I can tell you, we did. Okay, 1,471 yards. But again, we averaged 3.5 yards per carry, ran for 7 total touchdowns and 122 yards per game. So, one of the worst in college football.
So I think the thing that was for me, I know you're at the game, so you didn't watch it on TV, but the thing that was crazy to me is they were talking about what Clemson was doing to stop the run against us. And it was a simple stunt. Their guys would just switch their gap assignments at the snap, and our guys just had no answer for how to stop it. And they did it the entire game. And then announcers were like, Clemson's literally just rushing forward and just doing a stunt at the line, and Carolina can't stop it. I mean, that's the stuff that you should see in a game, like in game plan, like that. Like, how do you not? There's no way Clemson just was like, you know what? We ain't done this for 12 games. We're going to do it today against Carolina.
Right.
I mean, you don't see that in game film.
Oh yeah.
And there's no adjustment. And there's no adjustments made. That's the frustrating. There's no adjustments to anything he's done all year. It's like, well, we can run the ball. We run it. If we can't, then we'll have to run up the middle and hope we get it. Yeah. I mean, last year, like I said, I know it's a different coaching staff, but the same line outside of one player, Kevin Harris, and Chicago White. If we had 3rd and 1, I mean, dude, 9 times out of 10, we nailed it. I mean, it was like, try to stop it. This year, 3rd and 1 wasn't even a guarantee.
Yeah.
I mean, it's never a guarantee, but I mean, you didn't even feel halfway decent. You're like, this is not even 50-50. This is like, hopefully our guy falls forward.
Right. Yeah, no, for sure.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate your show, man, as always. And go Gamecocks.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Go Cox. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Blaine Lee says, do you think we'll pick up anyone from the recent surge in the portal transfers? Blaine, yeah, I think so for sure. You saw Shane Beamer's willingness to use the transfer portal when he first got here. I mean, listen, the transfer portal is a part of college football. Whether Dabo Swinney wants to wants to acknowledge that or not, the transfer portal is a huge part of college football now. It's a great part of college football, and I think you'd be foolish to not take advantage of it. There's guys that can immediately help your football team. You go get them. Darrell Wall Jr. says Clemson had 265 yards rushing. We had 43. Yeah, I mean, that tells the whole story. I mean, if I told you that in like last week, if I told you that in pregame, you said, Chris, they beat us, they kill us. And sure enough, what happened? So, again, I'm not sitting there saying that Marcus Satterfield shouldn't be let go, whatever. You know what I mean? If he's let go, cool. But I just wonder, like, are we in this vicious cycle of just firing coordinators? I mean, yearly, it feels like, on a yearly basis. Firing coordinators on a yearly basis. I mean, God, at some point, man, hey, the coordinator's responsible because he's the one calling the plays. But, bro, at some point, you got to put it on personnel, too. I mean, it's not just play calling this year. It's not just play calling. It's not. Again, I'm not defending what happened on Saturday. But, you know, how about the fact you haven't had a quarterback drafted since 1989? That's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem, folks. And I like a guy like Luke Doty, but is he the guy? Braden Davis. You know, I don't think Jason Brown, even if he comes back, I don't think he's the long-term answer. Obviously, Zeb Noland is done. So, all I know is something's got to change, man. Something's got to change. 21 points per game ain't going to get the job done. Bottom line. Jump back to the phone lines here.
Call from
Tommy.
Tommy, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm good, Chris. Hope you're doing well.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, I just wanted to make a few comments and go back and recollect a few things. But I remember back in the summer we had lots of conversation about tempering expectations for the season.
Mm.
And I remember you saying on many occasions that sometimes we were going to flash and look like world beaters, and at other times we were going to just look putrid.
Mm.
And obviously the season, it came out that way.
Yeah.
There were times we looked great, and there was a lot of times we looked putrid.
Mm.
I also believe that we'd be remiss if we didn't give enough accolades to the job Clayton White's done.
Yeah, no, Clayton White was incredible this year, man. I think definitely the one guy for sure that deserves a raise. And I guess that is the shame of the season too. Is the shame of the season is that the offense was so bad, it really overshadowed how good the defense was, or how much better, I should say, the defense was. You know, because of course everybody wants to lead off with the negative, talk about, and I get it. You know, address the problems, but yeah, Clayton White was, you know, as much of a miss as Marcus Satterfield may have been, Clayton White was a huge hit. So yeah, give all the credit and the kudos in the world. But yeah, you mentioned, man, for sure. I guess I braced myself and buckled up for an up and down roller coaster type of season, and it certainly didn't disappoint. It certainly didn't disappoint. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, Clayton took what Muschamp left him, and Clayton was able to. If you watch it, he made a lot of adjustments. He was able to scheme himself and make a lot of adjustments and take less and make more with it.
Mm.
There's no doubt about that. And versus the other side of on the offensive side, we went the other direction.
Mm.
For whatever reason, you know, I mean, whoever you want to lay that blame at, we just didn't. It wasn't bad. And my concern, one of my biggest concerns is, and I'm kind of like you, whatever Shane Beamer decides, I'm going to support him. And he's ultimately the one that's got the most at stake. But whatever decisions he makes right now is probably going to decide whether he's here 3 years or 10 or 13.
Hmm.
At least that's what I think.
Yeah.
Now, if he decides to keep what he's got and it works, he made the right decision. So that's kind of, you know, where I'm at with it. I'm the same way. I'm going to support whatever he does because I believe he can recruit.
Hmm.
And I believe he can sell an Eskimo ice cube.
Yeah, it's going to be it's going to be a very highly critiqued decision, especially if he decides to keep him. Yeah. So, and it's a shame and it's unfortunate because there is a portion of the Gamecocks fan base that will sell their stock on Beamer because they didn't get what they wanted. They didn't get the OC fired, and that is what it is. And I guess if you want to bail on a guy after a year because he keeps a certain coordinator, so be it. But that's just the reality of it. And so, what have you done for me lately, business? And again, when you have the 13th best offense in the SEC and the 100th plus best offense in all of college football, I mean, you got to expect that you're going to hear it. You're going to hear it from your fan base, and so I don't know. He's going to have to live with the decision no matter what.
Yeah, let me say one more thing, and I'll get off. Let me say one more thing about the transfer portal. Obviously, he's smart enough to take advantage of the portal. He's going to do that, and the portal, in my opinion, the portal has probably saved Frank Martin's career.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely. I mean, it's a part of the game whether people like it or not now, and I think you'd be kind of remiss as a head coach to not take advantage of it. But yeah, on the basketball side, yeah, I mean this team, brand new look team, and they're exciting and fun to watch. So we'll see if they can keep it up going throughout this non-conference and of course in the conference play. But yeah, certainly. I mean, I think that it's worked out well for him thus far, at least this season.
Yeah. But anyway, thanks for what you do to give us an outlet.
Yeah, man. Hey, I appreciate you, man. Thanks so much for the call.
By the way.
Go ahead.
Yeah, by the way, thanks for the cyber sale today. Get the merch.
Yeah, dude, absolutely, man. Absolutely. No, I appreciate you. Appreciate you, my friend.
All right, have a good day.
Yeah, man, you too. Take care. 843-790-3377, guys. That's 843-790-3377. We are going to take one final break, guys, here on this Monday, and then we're going to get back to your questions, your comments, your calls. I know many of you have been trying to call in. It's been busy. If you have, call in immediately after the break. We will get to your call. But, again, I want to hear from you. 843-790-3377. Some of your questions, your comments, your calls right after the break. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Taking your questions, comments, calls, guys. Less than 10 minutes to go here on a Monday. This Therapy Monday, November the 29th, 2021. Let's see. John Kruger, Chris. Thoughts I have in the game. I was listening to it at some point. I think fourth quarter, Todd Ellis said after E.J. Jenkins dropped the ball, and Todd Ellis said if anyone asks why E.J. doesn't play, it's because he's not playing well. I mean, hard to disagree with him, right, when it happens right there in front of your eyes on the field. So, Peyton says, Chris, I'm jealous of the Braves title. From a neutral perspective, how would you grade the Mets offseason thus far? I think they've done an incredible job. Yeah. Incredible job. So, Justin Kyle breaks for quitters. Right. Let's see. Tons of questions here on a Monday. Tons of questions. Blaine Lee says, I'm honestly stuck in the middle between firing Sat or do we just need not have the talent? It's the most unknown aspect of our program right now. Is it both? What do we do? Someone makes sense of all of it for me. Peyton Dawkins says, Chris, gun to your head. Who would you take at OC, Roper or Satterfield? Good God. Good God. I don't even know how to answer that. I really don't. I guess I'd say Sat. Man, Roper was abysmal. Oh, man. Christian McCaffrey out for the season for the Panthers. How about that? Wow. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. So my Coach Ford says Roper equals Satterfield. Lane Lee says, anybody talk to G.A. Mangus lately? Again, guys, I mean, it's, I can't even, the fact of the matter is this, your offense was ranked 109th in college football this year. So, 109th in points scored. I mean, you were 100th or worse in pretty much every major offensive category. I mean, that's the numbers right there. Proof's in the pudding, right? Proof's in the pudding. So what do you do? It's up to Shane Beamer, man. It's up to Shane Beamer. Again, like I told you guys, I think you do one of two things. If you fire him, have a better option ready to go. Have a better option lined up. If you don't, then do you bring him back? The Gamecocks ranked, 116th in total offense, 44th in total defense this year, 44th. Yep, all starts in the trenches. You just did not have it this year at all. Never did. You never did. Coach Ford says, hire Art Briles. Hire Art Briles. I hear you. T-Noel28 in the Big Cock Club Discord and the TDC Questions channel says, keeping Sat is career suicide for Beamer. The fan base will be completely gone, and you will lose really good assistants as well. No offensive player wants to come play for this disastrous offense that Sat puts on the field week in and week out. Bad Brad 757 says, Sat and Atkins need to go. Totally agree on the home run hire. It's got to be someone that's proven themselves, no doubt. Like you said, we can't just continue this insane cycle of firing and hiring assistant coaches. It's only going to hurt recruiting. I'm just tired of it. I mean, is anybody else just tired of it? I mean, we've had like 5 OCs the last like 7 years or 8 years. So, Peyton Dawkins, would you take Cutcliffe as OC? Kind of old, isn't he? I mean, you think he really wants to coach? I wonder if he wants to coach. No, he's just an older guy. No, just Kyle. It's water, my guy. It's water for sure. Water in the cup. Water in the cup. Blaine Lee, I'm also tired of us not being good offensively. Don't get me wrong. I am as well. JB Levy from Ole Miss is pretty close to Bryles. We would have to pay him $1.5 to $2 million per to call ball plays, but he would be worth it. I mean, again, go out and pay somebody. I mean, that's my biggest thing too with Satterfield is like, I don't blame Gamecock fans for feeling very underwhelmed because it was an underwhelming hire from the jump. I mean, it was. It was. It was an underwhelming hire from the jump. So, you know, I don't blame fans for feeling like we got the raw end of the deal from the jump because again, you were sold on the fact that Shane Beamer was going to hire an elite staff. And did you really have that game-changing guy? No. I mean, Clayton White just happened to work out. Justin Kyle says, how do you feel about men's basketball after playing pretty below average yesterday against Ryder? I still feel pretty good. I mean, there's obviously issues and deficiencies on this team they need to fix, no doubt. Turnover, sloppy play, but hey, a dub is a dub is a dub, man. And we've seen the Gamecocks lose games like that, believe it or not. We've seen the Gamecocks lose games like that. So you're 5-1, need to play good basketball and beat Coastal to get to 6-1, and then you got a huge game against Georgetown on Sunday, so which would be a huge victory for this basketball team. So I don't have any major concerns, major issues. The return of Keyshawn Bryant, obviously what he did yesterday, he proved yet again he is your best player. No doubt he's going to be the guy. I think he's going to be the leader for you. And, you know, I like this team, actually. I like this team a lot more than I thought I would. I like this team a lot more. And of course, our guy officially, Eric Stevenson, shoot. So, yeah. I'm excited for this team. I'm excited. Yes, Georgetown, I think, is going to SEC Network. So, I believe so. All right, guys. Hey, we've hit 2 o'clock. Appreciate you all tuning in, guys. Like I said, quick reminder, go listen to the podcast if you have not dropped this morning, episode 546, breaking down everything over the weekend, of course, from the South Carolina Clemson game, also talking basketball, and a great conversation with former Gamecocks defensive lineman Phillip Dukes. Also, tsus.store, Cyber Monday, 25% off until midnight tonight, tsus.store. Check that out. Again, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. Your love and support. Eric Stevenson, our first TSUS athlete. Very exciting stuff happening here on this Monday. And, of course, guys, the podcast, the content, the Daily Crow rolling all week this week. Again, folks, appreciate you all tuning in. Have a great rest of your Monday, and we'll talk to you.